A warm good evening to everybody present here. And I take immense pleasure in inviting you all for this wonderful talk that we are going to have with Mr. Manvir Singh Anand. And we shall know what he does and more about him, about his passion and everything. And before that, a small token of appreciation and thank you to Global Wedding Network, which has brought all of us together today. Global Wedding Network, as the name says itself, is a network of all your wedding planners and associates, be it caterer, be it your photographers, be it anybody related to our wedding industry. The whole idea of the Global Wedding Network to come together was to create a platform where all of us could come together as collaborators and not as competitors, and provide the best services to our clients as well. It is just to make sure that we have good times and mentor each other or share our experiences such that our bad experiences are taken care of and we learn from them and we can make the required changes. This also has resulted in creating more revenues and job creations as on the larger picture by bringing all of us together on this platform. So welcome one and all to the Global Wedding Network. And today here, I'm very happy to invite and introduce Mr. Manvir Singh Anand. Manvir Singh Anand के बारे में जितना भी बोले वो कम है. In such a short span of time, he has made a big name in the world of, should I say catering or should I say food or gourmet. I mean, it's just, he has such an impressive profile. So if I have to just sum it up, all I can say is Mr. Manvir Singh Anand is the founder and CEO of Night Gourmet, which is basically providing the hospitality solutions in three offices, Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai. And with their team strength, they are able to cater across 11 states and 30 cities. They have also been fortunate, or rather, I should say that our sports team has been fortunate enough to have a taste of their food, be it our Talaiva, Rajnikant, be it Sachin Tendulkar, be it Rahul Dravid. And if anybody is inquisitive of knowing how this happened, yes, they have been associated with the IPLs and with the IFA awards where their food was served. And he is also the podcast host for Catering Success Podcast, which is amongst the top 5 podcasts of the catering industry globally, and which is the first of its kind in India. Okay, and he's also the author of the #1 book selling called The Catering Your Way to Financial Independence. I would like to hear more about this, okay? And he is all with his passion for the edtech. He has developed intensive content for the courses of this community under the umbrella of Foodpreneur Network and has trained close to 2,500 people across 8 states. And he runs the only cloud kitchen course. This is something which is very, very interesting. And I think, Manvir, when we talk about you and your business, and when I want to hear more, I would like you to expand a little more on this. Okay, please elaborate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being a trained chef and holding a diploma in culinary arts, he's a postgraduate diploma in the business administration from India. So over to you, Manvir Singh. I've just picked up a few points about you. And so tell me one thing, you seem to have such an impressive profile. What is your inspiration? What brought you to this world of industry?
So first of all, thank you so much for being so kind. I think your introduction has been very lucid, very, I think very elaborate. I don't know. I mean, while I do a lot of these things, but saying that specific to the community, first of all, would like to thank the people at the Global Wedding Network, which is part of our community, where in which Varun, Devanshi, you know, putting in a lot of effort in terms of curating this kind of a network of competent individuals and service providers trying to add value to each other and in the process trying to increase and develop their business. So kudos to Varun, Devanshi, and the entire team of Global Wedding Network. Thanks to you. Like I said, we had a very good conversation yesterday, and like I said, thanks for the introduction. Giving you a quick insight. So, like I said, uh, the idea of why. I mean, something which I didn't include is that I started my career as a management consultant. I was doing a lot of consulting for Fortune 500 companies, and someone, I mean, across their profiles comes across a phase where in which he thinks that probably this is not my calling. And like I said, for people with the creative right brain, they always want to do a lot of stuff, and that's where I think all the people in the events business can really relate to, because this is just not an execution business, but this is a creativity and execution business. And that is where I think my company Night Gourmet gave me that advantage of actually leveraging all my skill sets and my team skill set, and come up with all these interesting ventures. Even I mean, like we discussed, we'll not be touching upon a lot of things which have happened of late, but like I said, all throughout, the opportunities which have come to us are all thanks to professionals we've been working with in the events industry, who've given us those kind of ideas and the leverage to really grow. So the inspiration has been people like you, who are doing very good for yourself, and at the same time industry mentors who really helped us, and of course a little bit of our effort and our team's effort. So it's a combination of a lot of things together. Yeah. So that's pretty much about.
That's nice. Yeah, that's really nice to know about what you do and how you've started into it. I just wanted to know one more thing: that when you started, did you directly start with Night Gourmet, or did you try your hands on with some of the smaller ventures, or how did you manage to reach the IPLs? And was it just how did you manage getting these
Absolutely,
contacts?
absolutely. So, I always say, and this is something, a line I really stick by. Life is what happens to you while you're busy planning other things, and that's exactly how I would like to put it. Reason being that when I was moving out, I still remember I was a startup enthusiast, and I never had even a single inclination towards going towards the food industry per se, because I never understood that particular industry. But it was just that during my years at my consulting job, that I thought that probably this is the right time to probably push and move out, right? And that is when I stumbled upon a food startup idea, which was basically into midnight deliveries. So there was a small startup which we started a long time back called Night Bites, which eventually grew into a larger company, and which we were able to sell to a third party investor. And the money which we had, which we had got after selling that particular business, we invested back into Night Gourmet, which is now a sole holding company of me myself. The early company was with a couple of partners. So, like I said, it's my typically, if I put it, it was after a small startup which grew into something more formidable. But yes, Night Gourmet was started by the small effort which we had done long time back, around 7.5, 8 years back, which has really catapulted into something very concrete right now. So yeah, I mean, I hope that answers your question. Yeah.
It does, it does. And see, I believe in the two uh, that everything starts with the first step. The first step could be small or big, it doesn't matter. You need to just keep moving on, believe in yourself, and work passionately towards what you believe in. And I think that is what has brought you to this level. So from a startup, I don't know whether you still consider yourself a startup or no, but yes, you are going places, and very happy to know. So your source of inspiration is, if I have to just tell, what is your source of inspiration? Is it just your passion, or were you inspired by somebody else in the similar industry?
So how this really happened was that, like I said, sometimes what happens is that, and this is a line I keep repeating a lot of times, which a lot of my friends and colleagues resonate with, that you have to be in business for a longer time to get business. Now, inspiration, lots of them, lots of them. If I just start putting names to them, it put, because like I said, but one thing which I really understood after a while of being in the industry, that what really matters is to be inspired but not try to copy. because everyone has their own journey of life. People I mean, I've had some very good mentors in the F&B space. I've had very good mentors in the business community, in the events community. And what I've learned from them is that if you see, you'll find the most eccentric people to be as part of our people, as part of our as part of our industry. Why? Because they're creative headed, and they don't have a set path like you have in banking. Like, I mean, a person, does his graduation, goes to an MBA college, does it. You'll find people who are MBA grads, you'll find here people who are dropouts. And that is where, like I said, the inspiration factor has been taking those small bits of journeys from everyone's life. Like, for example, when I was trying to really scale up my company, I had two options. Either to go, to grow my company like a typical catering company and try to focus on anything and everything which comes my way. Vis-a-vis, I shifted and I looked at another company, which was, within my, within my hindsight, which was more or less into consulting. Now, that was basically but they used to focus on a certain type of consulting. From that, we got inspired that, you don't have to be everything for everyone. You have to build your niche. And that is what we really focused on. So to answer your question very simply, I can't put a name to it, but people like Earl Nightingale, probably people like, I don't know whether you know about Mr. Bhardwaj from Junoon Restaurant in the US. It's a Michelin star restaurant. And like I said, AD Singh from Olive Group, all of them, all these people, you really look up to them, and you really aspire somewhere or the other to, really build formidable companies like the way they've been able to build. Because, like I said, inspiration can be everywhere. It's just about you trying to build your own journey by taking all the right things from them and trying to replicate. Trying to put that as an inspiration rather than just copying them. Point blank. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. Yeah.
Yes, it does. It does. And if I have to sum it up, it's just that, it's learning all the way, taking bits and pieces of what you like from other people's work is what has got you to your place where you are.
Absolutely.
And yes, that makes absolutely a lot of sense to most of us. And one more thing that you said that, when it comes to our industry, when it comes to event industry or its associates, I think we all sail in the same boat that, knowledge does help, learning or having a degree from one of these universities does help, but it is your field experience and each client, catering to each client, their requirements, everything is so unique that everything
Absolutely.
becomes a learning experience at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So coming to my next thing, what I would like to know is, what has been your strengths? Do you focus? What are your strong points? If I have to tell that, yes, Manvir is the go-to person. What can I say that this is the strength of Manvir?
So
Is it any particular cuisine or what? What is your strength?
when we talk about our company specifically, why we get work, to be very, very precise, we get because of two specific aspects, which something I also call as unique selling point, which is our USP. First is that we are one of the only companies, who execute mandates anywhere across the country. You tell us at the far reaches of Visakhapatnam to the reaches of Kodaikanal, to going up to Srinagar and doing catering. We built a mobile catering company in a manner wherein which to our three regional offices, which is Delhi, which is our head, which are the main office, Mumbai and the South. We're able to cater to the entire country with utmost ease. So pan India servicing capability, it just has to meet the economics. That's the only thing which we tell our client, and we take it forward, because like I said, there's nothing too small for us, there's nothing too big for us. That's how we operate. And the second thing is why a lot of clients work with us is that, and that's a compliment which a lot of people have told us, that the difference which they find when they work with us vis-a-vis any other service provider in the market is because they get a consultant along with a service provider. You understand? Because we curate solutions for them in a manner wherein which they don't really need to hire a consultant overall. So our DNA is such wherein which we help create an entire experience for him without he really needing to think about it. Because kafi bar, if you're in the events business, you'll understand a lot of times when you think about someone in the food industry, you always end up thinking कि यार यहाँ कोई ना कोई हलवाई connect होएगा, या it'll be a third generation business, it'll be a family owned business, or it either has to be a hotel. There can be only these three categories, and these three categories mostly depend on the brand aspect. Nobody has been selling intellectual services along with the food, because let's be honest, you and I are in the business to understand that food, irrespective, if you give good food to be in the industry, right? But the point is, where you can really sell to the customer is when you start educating him, when you're able to give him that comfort that he's not just paying for a service provider, but he's paying for something more than that. So two things, like I said: first, pan-India servicing capability, anywhere across the country, or in the UAE also, where we're working right now. And the second one happens to be, giving them much more than what they pay for in terms of intellectual capability. Yeah.
Okay. That's nice. That's good to hear. So if Shubkamnai wants to refer you, that's my company, Shubkamnai Events and Experiences. So if we want to onboard you, I understand that you have a pan-Indian, so Kashmir to Kanyakumari, we can have Manvirs all around. What are the kind of cuisines that you can cater to? And is
Absolutely.
it completely your own dishes, or you collaborate with others?
So alongside where
No,
we
I
run
just
our
want to know
catering company,
yeah.
the cuisines, Indian cuisine is the heart of what we do, but in Indian, our strength happens to lie in Punjabi cuisine, specifically in the entire northwest frontier, province kind of cuisine. So that is our core strength. But saying that, we also have a portfolio of cloud kitchens, which we have invested into, wherein which we have an in-house capability of doing very good Japanese food. So sushis, dim sums, at least, we are known for that in this particular belt of the market. Going down south, that is where we really, in my Chennai office, we
Oh,
really build
nice.
a very good bakery capability. But along with that, I've just hired one chef who completely looks into our Chettinadu cuisine, because Chettinadu cuisine is one cuisine which I don't understand. Even though I'm a chef, I'll be very honest. What I've learned after being a chef is that you can't do everything for everyone, and that is where we brought in the specialist for every specific department where we deem suitable. In fact, you asked us about the collaboration bit. Whenever we think a client needs much more than just the traditional Indian, your pan-Asian and your continental cuisine, we always work with the best of the best. Say Lebanese food providers out of Lebanon. We have a lot of friends out of there, a lot of chef friends, who want to come down. Peruvian cuisine, which is really coming up. We bring in chefs flying in from there specifically to curate an experience for you. So all these kind of things we can do, and like you said, it is always a mix of in-house plus capability which we have from the outside, because we personally believe that the client needs nothing but the best, irrespective. And that's where he has to, he has no other option than to probably hire us in that case. Yep.
I think you've said it all, and yes, it does sound very very interesting. That it is all, we are always client centric. Whatever we do is customer centric, and their requirements, their as what they need has to be delivered to the best possible. And it's nice to know about the various kind of cuisines that you can look forward to. So just out of curiosity, so if there's something coming down southwards, it's very easy for you to cater to because you already have an office in Chennai, right?
Yep.
So geography is not going to be a problem. I think there was another question also. Ki, would you be able to cater abroad as well? Is one of the questions that one of our members have for you.
Okay. So, like I said, the moment you shift to international borders, the only understanding it works is that only the chefs travel. The crockery, cutlery, everything is provided by the hotel, typically, So, like I said, we absolutely have the capability, because I'm a chef myself and my team is purely, I think in our team, there are 65% chefs and the rest are from the service and utility background. But like I said, Kitchen is our capability, kitchen is our strength, and that's what we specialize in. So for any international mandate, you need to understand it's very simple. We fly a team of chefs specific to our cuisine to that particular location. So catering abroad is even easier. That's why, like I said, Dubai, Ras Al Khaimah, Abu Dhabi, we've really built presence right now. And even for smaller sort of events, it's just 40,000 rupee, kind of a ticket, which a client does not mind paying, at least in dirhams, right? So we are more than happy if you have opportunities. We are speaking to a lot of event planners, hoping for things to really come back to those 5,000, 500,000 people. That's when we can expect the client to be more savvy in terms of being open to taking chefs all across the world. But saying that right now, yes, any place you think, please do give us a shout out, and we'll be more than happy to discuss a particular menu or a cuisine with you, and that can be anywhere across the world. Don't worry. Cheers.
Awesome. Awesome. Wishing you many, many more. Okay.
Thank
And
you.
there was this, we were discussing about this tech cloud kitchen course that you have. So could you
Yeah.
throw a little bit more light on this? What is this all about? Whom does it help? Why is it important to be a part of
Yeah,
this?
interesting. So, I mean, like I said, post the pandemic, we realized, and that's something, the premise was to focus on the positive things positive things in life post the pandemic, because all of us, faced, certain upheavals. And that's when the entire process of building content around the food industry really came up. We realized that there is a big market in the industry, or in the country right now, with respect to domain specific knowledge. Now, when I say domain specific knowledge, if today you want to open up a restaurant, you can just Google it, but you don't get targeted, curated content around that. That is what what we really thought about. We started a new vertical within a company called TKG Ventures, which does three things: consulting, coaching, and incubation. Incubation is basically investing into like I told you, strategic investments, wherein which we think our capabilities can increase in terms of cuisine. And talking about the course is part of the coaching initiative, wherein which we find a lot of people reaching out to me on a personal level after the book, asking us about how can they start a cloud kitchen, how can they start probably a catering business. And that's when what we did was we started collaborating with a lot of these independent chambers and business bodies. In fact, one of them is LBB also, which is another social platform. And we started creating a lot of content around that. That made us start a course on Udemy called the Cloud Kitchen Startup Blueprint, which is now transitioned into a Cloud Kitchen Mastery program for people who want to know how to start the cloud kitchen business in a step-by-step basis. Likewise, we're coming up with more such initiatives, but the idea is nothing, but it is to help any young wannabe food entrepreneur to start up their cloud kitchen or a catering business in a step-by-step format, without trying to just go through Google and not know where he or she is going wrong. Because I personally believe, as credible and responsible entrepreneurs, our responsibility is that even though our businesses would not be at the same scale they were pre-pandemic, the only thing we can give back. And I think I've been very lucky, and like I told you yesterday also, I've been very lucky in terms of getting the kind of mandates we've got. The only thing we can do is to give back to the community in whatever way we can, and help more entrepreneurs come back, because that really improves and increases the overall scope of the market. So that's how we started this cloud kitchen mastery program. Yeah.
I think this. I think this is a very, very good thought that you have. That you should always give back in your ways to at least your community or the society. And of course, when we have certain experience, there are people who look forward to our mentoring or our support, and our
Absolutely.
experience do matter. So I
Mm.
think that's a wonderful initiative,
Thank you.
and yes, people should look forward to it and go ahead and just check on Udemy and look into the course if they're interested into this kind of industry. Then I think it's a nice step. It's wonderful that you've taken this up. And
Great.
when it comes to this catering success podcast, what
Yeah.
exactly is this about, Manvir?
So like I said, our focus was with the book. Our focus came in that a lot of people were reaching out to us, and the beauty was that people were not only reaching out to us from Delhi, they were reaching out to us from Poland. Like I'm talking about Warsaw, from the US, and that's the beauty of the Amazon platform, that your reach really explodes in no time. And that is where I stumbled upon a friend, an artist manager friend, in fact, probably, he should also be introduced
Okay.
here in the network. And he told me a beautiful thing. He told me that, right now is the time when, there's a saying, I would say, when fishermen can't fish, they repair their nets. Okay.
Correct,
and, and,
correct,
and,
correct,
and,
correct.
and what we did was, like I said, we were building a lot of content. So podcast, audio style format was something also we thought we should put in our effort towards, because like I said, perfection is a myth. People who want to learn, they're concerned about the quality of the content and not the style in which it is delivered. So we started Catering Success podcast, and you won't believe, that's a learning for me personally, Anita, that I had on a single episode, I had around 500 plays, which was a recent episode. And I went bonkers thinking about the fact that how can someone, if you just Google right now about how to start a catering business in India, there'll be so many blogs, but there's no audio content per se. And when I see a market for
Correct.
that and people wanting to learn about that, it is so overwhelming, and it basically, resonates with your thought that, you should genuinely try and impact, no matter दुनिया को फर्क पड़े ना पड़े, even if it impacts one person, you've made your difference. So that is what Catering Success podcast is.
Correct.
It's the same. It's a audio, I would say, small snippets of how someone can start a catering business, that too without any prior background in the hospitality industry. So that's what we are doing essentially. Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. And I don't know, I've not shared, just because you're sharing this, I just thought of something. Same thing, in adversities, we look out for more opportunities. So as a part of, when we are also having this Karnataka Event Management Association came up, and a few event planners were approached, and a few of us were onboarded as the honorary members for Indira Gandhi National Open University for their event management courses, for the basics of the event management courses.
Fantastic.
So I was one amongst them. And same thing, it's like nice to, and it's only the basics that we teach, talking about there.
Absolutely.
Through their course material. And when the students try to find you on LinkedIn or on your social media, and then they connect with you, it's such a good feeling that, they're looking
Absolutely.
for mentorship. So
Absolutely.
I can easily
Absolutely.
resonate with you,
Absolutely.
what you're speaking.
It's finding a better purpose in the industry, besides what we were doing. So I mean, like, we can so much relate in that case. Yeah. Sure.
I know. I don't think even your profile doesn't say that you've done your hotel management course and all that kind of discussion. But still,
on the contrary, I did my culinary management course. So I went to London. I started culinary management, and if you read, the first thing I write in my book is that you don't have to be a chef to start a food business. And it took me burning approximately around 15-20 lakhs to actually understand that you don't understand, right? To be an event manager, to be a hospitality guy, or in fact, on my Instagram today, I received a message in which someone reached out to me from Gujarat. He was like, "Sir, I want to start a food business, but I don't like eating non-veg. I can't see non-veg. Should I do HM or not?" And I told them that, guys, if you want to be a chef, only apply for a culinary management program, nothing else. And you don't have to, if you want to be a restaurant, you will not be behind the kitchen, you'll be managing the client. And that's the hard reality I learned when I started my own catering business. Now, when you have to manage a business, operation is something you can still, make your team manage that, right? But the client handling skill or something, how do you run a business? How do you manage cash flow? Is the major aspect you need to learn as part of a business. And it does not matter whether you have a hotel management degree, culinary management degree. It's a pure myth. And I think
I'm
that's
actually
the same for events.
I was about to say, I'm actually enjoying this conversation as much as you are, because it's the same thing.
Yes.
There are people just think that event management में कुछ नहीं है, बस stage लगवा दो, फूल लगा दो, light लगा दो, हो गया. I think there is everything needs to be in place, and there are departments. There is client servicing, there is vendor management, there is purchasing to be done. So you need to know what your strength is and focus only on that area.
Just because you had mentioned this part, Anita, I'll just tell you one beautiful aspect about content today. आज से कुछ टाइम पहले, जब आज से 5 साल पहले लोग कहते थे कि फेसबुक पे ये पोस्ट करते रहते हैं, स्नैपचैट डालते हैं, अपनी ये डालते हैं. A lot of people used to say they are actually people without a job, right? Now,
right.
just to create value for that particular industry, Facebook, Instagram, all these platforms, change their name to something called content creators. So as part of any industry, it is our moral responsibility to bring respect to our industry. And that is why I always say that, a lot of times people consider us, कि caterer है तो यार हलवाई होगा या किसी अपनी family के बंदे. I always tell them, sir, it is about the respect you give to your service provider, and basis that he will try to deliver value. If you think he's just another person, run of the mill guy, आप जितना मर्जी कर लो, वो फिर आपको normal काम ही करके देगा. And that only comes from you and I trying to build that kind of credibility and reputation for our own respective professions. Event wale, and it's a funny thing. I'll give you an instance. Someone asked Sabaz Joseph of Wiscraft that
Wiscraft.
And this the question you can just say. I think Veer Sangvi asked him, what do event managers do? And and this point also he added कि क्या करना है, सिर्फ carpenter ले आओ, फूल वाले ले आओ और काम हो जाता है. And what he said was so beautiful, that guys, you have to be in my shoes to actually understand that how much meticulous planning is needed. And plans are nothing, planning is everything. That's something an event manager colleague said.
Correct.
So anyway, I just got slightly carried away here, but I just wanted to just bring this to everyone at the global wedding network and the event community, that guys, let's try and build more respect for our respective communities, because people really need to value the kind of effort we put in. And now is when they value us, because there are no events happening, so they really remember the kind of experiences we created for them. And now, since they don't have options, so I mean, how the market is shaping up, right?
What I would like to add, Manvir, to this is, it starts when you start respecting your work and presenting your quality to the clients as well. Absolutely. And of course, as you rightly say, that we need to show that this is a respectable profession that we are into. And be it a caterer, be it a photographer, be it anybody in our industry, we all are doing our jobs very well, and we are actually creating memories and moments which they are going to cherish lifelong.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
it is
absolutely.
And as you rightly said, the way they treat us is what they get in return. There, I just add on, we are putting in our 100%, more than 100% actually, because everybody in our profession who is working as a passionate entrepreneur, they go one step extra to, service the client and make them happy. So yes, I'm glad that, all of us are on the same page, that our industry deserves a big round of applause and a big respect too. And this is possible only when we work hand in hand in collaboration with each other.
Absolutely.
So if I have to sum it up and say something about Night Gourmet, maybe just in 5 words, just 5 words about you, about your company, what could it be? Like if I have to just say 5 superlative adjectives.
So I'll put it very simply: rich culinary solutions with a flair of excellence. That's it.
Okay. You covered it all. It covered it all.
Yeah. So that was around
is that your
6-7 words. Yeah,
Chalta
that's similar. So
we'll ignore the adjective. We'll ignore the prepositions in between.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So is that your tagline?
Yeah, actually that was our tagline, but I still hold by that, because now is when we basically have changed the name from Rich Culinary Solutions, because now we show we basically show as a part of an umbrella of something called event hospitality. We never say catering now. We've changed the entire terminology of catering to event hospitality. That's how we basically pitch to a client also. But I still, being a chef at heart, being very passionate about the entire business, I still feel that what we do is rich culinary solutions with a flair of excellence, because I always believe like consulting, events, catering, photography, everything is a practice. You learn by doing it, you become better and better. But like I said, we always tell our clients that, guys, I absolutely believe that we can deliver you Michelin star quality, but you will trust me once, and with practice, we'll actually deliver much better than what you would expect from any run-of-the-mill caterer in the market. So, like I said, I mean that's how I some the way I look at my company per se. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. So, anything that you would like to say as a closing statement, Manvir?
So, I mean, like I said, thank you so much to you and the entire Global Wedding Network team, wherein which, I mean, we, in fact, we've not been that active per se in terms of, actually, I've not been that active in terms of actually reaching out, but I think with mediums like these, with engagements like these, you really find value in these conversations, and we understand that our objectives are so much aligned. Even we share that we'll not be talking about the current times, but we can't close this without discussing about the current times. That, guys, these are probably tough times, but what can really last us is the fact that we support and give the credibility to each and every service provider in the market and try to support them. I always tell them that, guys, give respect to your community, because if we start undercutting each other, I don't know how the industry will really thrive. And if there's one thing which we can do, which I loved about what Varun had really thought about, was a global learning curve, something which he was really working around the edtech. I think if we as a community try to create more entrepreneurs, try to add more entrepreneurs, I would say partners, in fact, and that will be of great leverage at this particular point in time. Because if you see all around the larger agencies, people are losing their jobs, a lot of things happening. If you make these pseudo competitors more like your partners, I think the industry will grow leaps and bounds, and that is what I'm really hoping for. Again, thank you so much for the opportunity. You've been, like I said, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. The kind of questions and the kind of thought process and the value addition you brought, I think it's a rare quality which very few people have, and kudos to you for that. And thank you so much. Like I said,
Thank
to
you.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Thank you. So, Manvir, this is, I would say that it should be a thank you to the forum for having this opportunity for us, wherein, we can actually interact, know about each other's business, and the way forward also in the business. And like you said, right, it is rightly said that, these are tough times. And yes, looking, I always say, you should be positive, don't get tested positive. So it's like, yes, let's look forward to a...
No, I understand.
So let's let's look forward to rocking year. Of course, there are certain places where our industry is being hit more, especially with the caps coming back in places like Delhi, etc. So let's keep fingers crossed and hope that the celebrations never come to an end. And I always say that Shubhkamna ki bina to celebrations adhure hai. So looking forward to working with you sometime very soon.
Absolutely. Likewise. Looking forward to working.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Cheers. Looking forward. Okay. Great. See you, I think.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so very much.